My elective was split into two very different parts. I spent half of it in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and half of it was spent in Adelaide in Australia.
I went to Ecuador, and I was working with a charity that do surgery, like a converted army truck.
So I've planned for a 6-week elective in surgery to be undertaken at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver.
For me, I chose the areas of medicine that I'm interested in. So I wanted to work in the trauma units and as well as any sort of emergency type scenarios. I also have an interest in aeromedical work. I'm now part of the RAF, and I wanted to be able to explore practicing medicine in aviation.
Well, I wanted to go to South America because I wanted to improve my Spanish. And I wanted to do something that was going to be a bit different to what I would get if I stayed in the UK.
Well, a lot of the reason why I picked North America / Canada was because as they're often sort of vaunted as some of the best surgical programs in the world. And they often say, like, actually the gap between the British healthcare system and the healthcare system is probably increasing. And I was keen to see what made them so good or so different.
For me, I was able to, work in one of the world's busiest trauma centres. I was also able to go flying around Australia and, learning how to practice medicine. Both pretty unique opportunities, and for me, that was what it was about.
So I became quite good friends with the students from the medical school, and I was having a really good time sort of looking at the way that medicine is practiced, but then also in the evenings, the students would take us out and show us around their country, which they're really proud of. So it was really nice to see sort of the local view of what was going on in the country.
Actually, it's always like really multicultural. My friends tell me actually the place is amazing. There's lots to see around there. There's Vancouver Island, and for food and general as a city, it's supposed to be really quite impressive.
Yeah, it's a great resource, and I'd strongly recommend people, have a flick through and see what other people have said, because I think really that's the only way you get an honest opinion.
And I was really impressed with the way that you can look through the experiences either by country or by specialty. You can have a look and see if there's placements, which I thought was really good. It gives you a really good idea of what each country is going to be like as well, and whether you need to know a language or not. So I was actually really impressed with it.
It's quite a nice little website because it literally isn't like it's almost like planning a holiday almost. They sort of make it that straightforward. It's almost like a little one-stop service, because actually organising an elective is, it is hard work almost. There's loads, as you do each thing, you realise, oh, I'd forgotten about that. I need to arrange that. For example, malpractice insurance, travel insurance, cancellation insurance, accommodation, and then, there's just loads of little ins and outs that I almost hadn't really thought about. And the Electives network was good for that.